Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 431 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gaming podcast for Words About Games. I'm one of your hosts, Amy K. Alexander, and joining me with his Brooklyn NYC t-shirt, even though I don't think he's burnt to Brooklyn, it's Daffin Moody.
Never been to America, probably never will go to America, so I'm pretty good.
It's definitely lost its shine. Whatever shine it did have, it lost it around about
It lost its shine like a decade ago. I'm not going to lie, quite a long ago. But either way, how do everyone? It's Friday. You know what that means. It's video game day, the holiest of days. I hope everyone is well.
I said it's Black Friday.
No.
Let the horror.
Technically, it's still going, I guess, because for some weird reason, the stores decided, well, can we extend this?
Black Friday is all of autumn now.
Basically, yeah.
It's like, is this an Xbox? Is this Black Friday? Sure is. It sure is. When I was
is that Monday, Black Friday? Is that Monday or Friday? Is that Tuesday or Friday? Every day is a Friday.
It's a Friday. It's like T-shirt Friday.
Monday.
In November, every day is a Friday.
When I was younger, I wanted to do that thing, the big long interstate that goes across through all of America. Like,
66?
You get like a car and you do the big American road trip. Now I feel like if I did that, I'd just get shot. Like,
yes.
Pretty quick.
Probably, yeah.
That makes two of us, yeah.
Or lynched, one of the two. But yeah, on those happy tidings, we're also joined by the lone wolf themselves. It's Vitz Patel.
What's good, everyone?
We've got a new nickname for you.
That's it. That is a veiled reference to what happened on a 13-hour marathon stream that we did, all in aid of special effect, over on twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. And yeah, we happened to play a few games of Halo, and crazy things happened. And yeah, we have a new Halo champ. So my Spartan, Sasha Fierce, she did us proud, and yeah, we clicked some heads, and yeah, we did the business.
Like, the crazy things happen. I kept telling you I'm not that good at Halo, but no one believed me. And now they believe me. Everyone believes me now.
To be fair, if I told people on the podcast that I sniped you in midair, no one would believe that either.
But it's true. He did. He sniped me out of midair, son of a bitch. I did not appreciate your game.
There you go. The game I didn't even know I had.
What's funny is in the goal that I wrote up on Just Giving, I was like, I wrote out like the description of what it was, and one of the things I put was, "Is Vitz secretly a Halo god?" He might be.
So I think what happened is when you sing the song of Beyonce, it gives you certain Halo powers. That's what happens.
But yeah, no, that was fun. That was a fun 13 hours we did.
Yeah, at the top, I just want to say thanks to everyone who came through and supported not only this stream, but all the previous streams that we've done, and raised so much money for Special Effect. And yeah, at the top of the stream, we had Paige come through from Special Effect, and they were absolutely glowing with their words and praise for all the work that you've done, dear listener, to help so many people enjoy the magic of video games.
Yeah, because we didn't really do that much. We just showed up and brought our usual bag of dumbassery with us. Well, we didn't really do that much.
There was shenanigans aplenty, and in due course they'll be broken out and put up on youtube.com/wordbackgames UK.
I can try and inflict Umbrella Corps on even more people.
Yes, exactly.
Now you know. Now you know.
How that wasn't the cheapest game ever made. They use the same map for 20 times and the same objectives.
Why it was the cheapest game ever made?
There you go.
Yeah, no. What I found funny was we spent 13 hours more or less in each other's company, and then people would be like, "Oh, so you just logged off straight away." And it's like, no. Even though we spent 13 hours in each other's company, we just sat and chatted for a bit afterwards. It's like, we haven't spent enough time together. Today.
Exactly.
Let's just keep going.
So now we weren't sick of it one another. So
yeah, and not
I think
one
that's
of
an
us
achievement
decided,
in itself.
That's it. Not one of us has said, you know what, I can't make the podcast this week.
Me and Moody did not kill each other.
There you go. I think if you're in the same room, then maybe that was an
Oh, we've done
that was
this
an option.
though, not a charity stream of 13 hours right now, but we've like did a full day of basically streaming, basically podcasting
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatnot when you did it E3 a few
When-
years ago.
When it was
Games
E3.
Awards.
It was E3.
Yeah, it was a shit fest a few years ago. What was it, 2 years ago now? Or was it last year?
It was last year.
It was, wasn't it? Oh shit, yeah,
that
because
was the
I've only
first time
been
I
here
came to you on your
2.5
house, yeah.
years. Oh shit, yeah. It was last year. Oh god, that feels years ago.
In the olden days. Like me, it
Back
was
in my day.
last year, mate.
It's been 84 years.
Exactly.
Oh, God. Movie. I remember that. You didn't even have a dog then. Like, you
No,
didn't
I
have
did
a dog
not.
at that point, no?
Ah,
But she was coming. She was coming.
You made me take a picture of that sign when you would drop me off at the train station.
Yes, I did. Yeah. And then I think about a couple of weeks after that, we found out my partner went, "A puppy, wait, what?"
Yeah. That was how fast it was.
Yeah, well, they like really went really fast because like Shitfest is June.
Yep.
So she was born. So it was like it would be like the back. She was born the back end of June. So she
what, like 8 weeks after?
yeah, like I think she was born the back end of June. So we got her 8 weeks after that. Yeah, back end of August, July, August, July, September at the beginning of September.
One of those months.
Yeah. One of those months. It's yeah.
Who needs linear time?
It's linear time. I've been in linear time for 2.5 months, so
Yeah.
I'm in my own time.
Fucking hell. Yeah, no. Yeah. It was a fun weekend. I prepared for it in the best possible way by playing board games all day the day before.
Oh, I got up at 5:30 that morning to watch the last Rose Grand Prix and then did a 13-hour stream. So,
You're mad.
you know,
I didn't get up until 30 minutes until we were meant to start.
All right, so
you go.
hang on. I got all the shit. Oh, is Amy awake? Is Amy awake? Like, Amy's been awake for 2 hours, all right? Leave me alone.
Yeah, but
You
you weren't
didn't answer
online.
my call. I called you.
We both did.
Mr. Oh, I'll just get up 10 minutes before the stream starts. Oh, is Amy
About
awake?
30 minutes.
LOL. I had an emergency. I didn't tell anyone this on the day, but like on the morning, I cut my tongue like right at the back, like the tongue to the gum. So that entire stream was pain. Like I was in so much pain the whole day.
Hey.
Like swallowing, talking, everything was painful. So that was fun, but I still had a good time. So
Well, that's good.
yeah.
Well, I hope you're feeling better now.
I didn't really want to like mention it, and I knew I couldn't like call it off. So you just gotta roll with the punches.
Yeah, I guess when you've got the additional pressure of like we've got a special guest here, she's waiting and she's in the Discord call.
She's
kind of
already
thing.
in the
Or at least
Discord
trying to
call.
get
I'm
in.
not in the
Yeah.
Discord call yet, but she's in the Discord call.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's calling me.
You just ignored us for the heck of it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But it turned out well.
Yeah.
I like how fast 13 hours goes by. Like you have all those plans, like, oh, maybe we'll play some Fall Guys. We tried and it didn't work. But like, oh, maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do this. And it's like, I don't think you all realize how fast this is actually going to go because we have actual plans. We have to do the plan things.
Yeah.
And it disappears really quickly. But it was fun.
No, it was yeah, as I say, it was good fun. So yeah. And now back at like a bad habit, we're back with the Words About Games podcast.
Hell yeah. How's everyone been this week though? Like, because like while we did chat for a bit on Saturday, Sunday night after we'd finished, I don't know, we haven't talked too much since then.
No, but it's been it's been good so far. Obviously, my topic is going to be my early impressions of Cyberpunk 2027, which I purchased while we were on stream actually.
You did, yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
So that came through, and I've been dipping into that. So looking forward to speaking to that, and then put a post up over on Bluesky just before we logged into Discord today, saying In Gran Turismo 7, we finally did the thing and got past all the stupid shenanigans. And now the GT7 dashboard thing says I've done everything in the game. So maybe I can put that game down now. So there is that.
Other games, you play other games now. You're free.
Yeah, well, we've been playing Cyberpunk and whatnot, and then dipping back into watching a few movies. So this week we watched The Fifth Element, which I hadn't seen in quite a while.
Such a good movie.
Still a good movie. There's certain bits which are really problematic and were problematic back in the day as well, and they haven't aged well. But overall, it's still a banger of the movie. And
Tucker was the highest earner of that movie. You would think it would be Bruce Willis, but it was Chris Tucker.
In fact, Tucker put in the performance of that.
Oh, he put in the performance, all right, no doubt.
Really wrong. And then prepping the first episode of Pixel Pop Stars, so putting that together and coming up with different game shows, and we've got like the game formats locked down now. So like each episode will be a variety of different games to kind of mix up the form to keep people on their toes and whatnot. So thanks to everyone who's applied so far, and subscriptions, applications are still open for you to apply, so we can start putting those together. And it's fun times all around.
I finally did my application.
I saw, thank you
this week
for doing that.
No problem. I love that. Like, we've just come off the back of this massive charity fundraising initiative, and I'm taking a rest for the rest of the year. And Vitz is like, right, what's next? Let's go. Like, where do you get your energy from? Can I have some?
Who knows?
Who knows, indeed.
How about you?
Yeah, it's been the week's been all right. I can't complain, but I could if I wanted to. I won't lie.
Sure.
It's still a bit of a pain in the backside trying to find a job and everything like that. But it just is what it is. I can't do much about it. I've been watching some stuff. I've rewatched the film I haven't watched for a long time. Carol, starring Kate Blanchett. It's like one of my favorite movies that I saw years ago, and it still just holds up to this day. It's a beautiful little romantic movie, drama. The score is absolutely breathtaking. I really enjoy the score, and it's just a fabulous film that I just absolutely adore. And then I watched right after Godzilla -1 again.
Oh wow!
You did.
It's been a couple of months since you've been watching
drama to an extreme monster flick, which is just like, why the fuck not?
Also a romance story in that film.
There is, which is a good romance story. I won't lie. There's no doubt. It is a good romance story. But it's still like it's still a banger of a movie, no doubt, to this day. Even though it just came out last year, but and I've started rewatching the Orville again. I'm almost at the end of season 2, I love the Orville. I think season 1 I think's weak. It's a weak season, but I think they gradually get better in season 2. They get way better in season 2, and season 3 I think's still one of the best seasons I think out there to this day. Still, I think it's just such a really well done show that balances a lot of cultural different issues throughout in a very good way, I think, and whatnot. So it's really I really enjoy it. Like when Seth MacFarlane's is not annoying and I can watch him, I'm all good for that. Because at the beginning of season 1, like I was saying to myself when I first started watching this about last year, like a year ago, or a year or 2 years after that, how much is Seth in this show? Because like his comedy can really irk me sometimes. I don't really watch Family Guy anymore. I think that just I hit the space, I got it, I enjoyed it, and now I'm just like, you can stop now, type of thing. Same goes for American Dad. I never really got into that because I'm just like, it's the same shtick. You can stop, just stop now. Go getting too much. But this one, like he from season 2 onwards, he takes a really good way in where he's very restrained, and he allows the other characters, for me, I think, because of him and his team's writing, really grow in a really good way, where you actually care about a lot of them. Apart from the pilot, he's annoying throughout all of it. I can't stand the pilot. I just don't think he's funny. That's all. But no, Yeah, he's surprisingly he's better actor than I think you give him credit for, Seth MacFarlane. So
Fair enough. Yeah, when it comes to pilots of spaceships, I'm thinking Wash from Firefly and Erica Ortegas. She flies a ship.
Does she? I didn't know that.
She only thinks she does. Well, it's Tom Paris.
This pilot from Farscape.
Yeah, Jadzia Dax.
His name.
She pilots the Defiant a few times. So does Nog.
She did.
Han Solo.
Han Solo, yeah. Apparently did the Kessel run in under 9,000 parsecs, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
That's what I said in it.
Probably.
Not a unit at a time.
It's been a long time since
You
I
did a
watched
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, Emmy's still on hiatus for that.
I think I'm gonna be on hiatus forever.
Probably, yeah. And that's fair. That's
Rise
absolutely
of
fair. I can understand
Skywalker
that.
ruined me
It's understandable.
with how bad it was.
I think it's obviously it's a lot of that, but it's less the movies have ruined it. It's the people who ruined it as well.
I mean, yeah, the fan base, the vocal
quote,
minority
unquote.
of the fan base, like,
That's it.
doesn't help. Like, in situations like that, it's like there's games that I haven't played because I'm just like, I don't want to be associated with you people. Well, what's funny is they probably didn't even bother playing the games either.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like so Black Myth Wukong took home the Ultimate Game of the Year at the Golden Joystick.
Did it?
Joystick Awards, yeah.
God.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Ben Starr who hosted it, and his outfit was amazing. I highly recommend you check that out. It was kind of like a formal Leon Squall, and he had like his necklace on and everything. And Samantha Bearhart was there, being the badass that she is as well. And it's one of these where I think the Golden Joysticks are predominantly fan voted, and I think a lot of the
Tells me everything.
the fan base who are kind of propping Black Myth Wukong up are there for maybe non-altruistic reasons. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, like, the oh god that I just put out wasn't about the game. It was about oh god. Like,
Yes.
I can only imagine what's going on. But you know what? I don't need to interact with that anymore because Bluesky is a nicer place.
There you go.
You come up to me with that shit, you get blocked. And blocks on Bluesky are amazing.
Yes, and you don't have to pay for them as well.
You just fucking delete someone from the internet. It's incredible.
You know someone's going to buy it and just change it all. You know that, right?
Yeah, but until
your
that
point?
point, let us have fun.
I've been around since MySpace. I know how this game is played. It's not about the future. If you're always worrying about the future, you'll never be in the present.
There you go. Shout out to Tom from MySpace.
And Tom from MySpace is my friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we get into the podcast?
Yeah, let's talk some words about them games.
Let's talk about some words about them games, starting with something we've hinted at for the last 2 weeks, and I've decided we're going to make it a podcast topic. Are there too many video games? Because back in my day,
Topic done.
Back in my day, you had to wait like 6 months between games because your parents only bought them for Christmas and your birthday, and you had to be very careful about what you picked to play.
And even if you got a crap game, you were stuck with it.
You had to play that game.
Yeah, you
You had to play the shit out of that game.
You will learn to love that game.
You'll have to. Yeah. But yeah, no, like, I think there's three. For me personally, I think there's three answers to this question of yes, no, and maybe, and I think they're all true, depending on like how you're looking at it. Like, I think they're all simultaneously true for different reasons. That yes, there are too many video games, but no, there's not. But yeah, there might be. And I'm looking forward to diving into all three of those reasons today.
I can absolutely see where you're coming from. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you like expound on that, and then we can contribute.
expound on how three contradictory things can always be true at once.
Yeah.
Well, like, it really, like, if you're a schmuck who just plays nothing but the AAA titles, which is your decision, even though I just called you a schmuck.
But he respects the fact that you're a schmuck.
I respect that.
Your
like,
choice
I
to be a
salute
schmuck.
you. I salute you for that.
They respect your choice to be a schmuck.
Yeah, exactly. And 9 times out of 10, they always come out and say there's not enough video games. They always do. And it's just like, there's video games out there. Like, this is where I always come down to. It's like, no, there's tons of video games. You just don't look. You just don't. You stick to one genre or type, should I say, AAA, and so yeah, you're gonna feel like there's not that many out there and everything. But it's like there's more than there is out there and everything, and it's just. So when I hear that argument, I always just go bugger off. In the nicest way, he's struck. Go away.
The adults are talking now. Shh.
Yeah, shush. Go away. Go. You go into your little corner. Yes, we can hear you, but we're going to mute you. Okay.
Yeah. To that point of the adults are talking. To lean into the.
More sarcasm. I've got more.
And in the too many games thingy. So even if you are. One of these people that only focus on AAA, like prestige titles, for a better term, the demands of planet Earth are only ever increasing, and it's one of these where time is finite, and these titles demand so much more of your time than say they did 10, 20 years ago, mind, and then that's kind of impacting too in terms of your time is finite, and it's one of these that these companies will have you believe no, you can play everything. You can play 6 games as a service games all at once, and keep all those afloat with your wallets and stuff.
Forever
games. It just isn't the case. Yeah,
and I saw IGN noticed finally that AAA gaming is in AAA gaming might be in a bit of trouble because of all of these live service games, and it's like but they got what the CEOs got what they wanted, like the big publishers. They got what they wanted. They wanted people to play their forever games. Unfortunately, now they've realized that they can't sell any new games because people are just constantly playing the old games over and over again.
There you go, yeah.
But I mean, hey, them's the breaks. Congratulations, you won. Everybody's playing fucking Destiny and Fortnite now.
Yep.
You'll never be able to sell another one, but but no. I mean,
Are people still playing Destiny?
Yes. Oh God, yes. Yes, I hear about it a lot. I know someone who plays Destiny. I know way more about Destiny than you would think I would, considering I haven't played it since 2017.
Yeah, people absolutely love the final shape, and they're loving the raid. Yeah.
And all about the dungeons and the raids and the seasonal content and the story. It's weird how much I know about Destiny because of one person. But yeah, no. Are there too many video games? The first answer is no for me. Because if gaming's reached this place where anyone can make a game, I could sit down and teach myself a game engine, or get RPG Maker or Twine or something like that and make a game if I chose to do so. And I think that's cool. I think that's really cool that I could just sit down and make a video game. And I think everybody should be able to make a video game.
I 100% agree with that. And I think to your point of no, there's not enough video games in terms of
not too many.
The more the more video games we get from different perspectives and people from different walks of life and their lived and experiences, the richer the space will become. And it's kind of the thing where back when video game creation wasn't kind of as democratized as it is right now, and back when there were kind of higher walls that people had to jump over in order to be able to make a game, we had more limited perspectives where it was, obviously a game typically featured a white male character. Because
this white man is sad because his wife died. This white man is sad because his wife died. This white man is sad because his daughter died.
Yes, that's it. But yeah, obviously with more people being able to make their experiences that they want and be able to tell their perspective of their walks of life, then as I said, that can only be a good thing. So from that instance, no, there's not enough games, not in the slightest.
Sure, like I would love to see my game, your game, Moody's game, everybody's game. Everybody make.
I
I think
fix the
everybody
shit
should
out
make
of Gran
a game.
Turismo games. I would fix the shit out of Gran Turismo.
I'd make the weirdest fucking game you've ever seen in your life.
Yes.
And Moody would probably just make Dragon Age again.
I would have made Dragon Age.
He'd fix Life is Strange.
Oh, he'd
I'll
remaster
fix
it.
Double
No, sorry.
Exposure.
He'd remake Dino Crisis.
Yes. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll see it. I'll just ask Capcom to use their engine, and I'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, can you fix the bandages?
Yeah.
Yeah, fix the
I'll
beating
get
of
rid
the
of it.
bandages.
I'll get rid of that mechanic
Just
altogether.
re-release the exact same game and just take that one mechanic out, and I think I'll be cool. I think I'd call it game. Yeah.
I doubt that still, but either
Probably.
way.
It's probably. Yeah. There's probably other things in there.
There's probably other things that still annoy you. No, I like. Yeah, it's no doubt about it. Like, I want, like, if you've got an idea and you want to go and make it, go out and make it, and everything like that. I'm always up there to support people in the best way I can to, like, to go out and succeed your dreams. Like, yeah, that's what I decided I did. That's what I did. I went out and got an education and worked my ass off to get a job and then lose it 2 years later. But either way, I'll never not joke about that. But either way, yeah, it's for me, it's there's no doubt about it. It is the thing of just time, and time is finite and everything like that. I think the worst thing is about it, where I sometimes feel like there are too many games, is that for some weird reason, my mind is still kind of in the zeitgeist of, even though I told Amy this years ago, I even told her off, she knows this, years ago, my brain still sometimes is in that part of, like, you have to be in the conversation type of thing, even though maybe it's a game you don't really want to play, even though it's blowing up or something like that. And I don't know why. My brain is just wired still like that, and I'm trying to get out of it. And thankfully, I think I am slowly getting out of it, because I haven't really played any new games apart from Double Exposure a couple of weeks ago. Like right now, I've just started Judgment. I thought I played a little bit of yes. Let's
go.
I've just started Judgment. Yeah, that's why my things. That's what my topic is going to be about, because I've been using it on my portable, playing it on through my portable and whatnot. And and I'm absolutely loving the experience and everything. But thankfully, like, but I've got like tons of games going on at the same time. Like, I've got Life is Strange True Colors in the background. I've got Pokemon games in the background, and it's just like, but so like, thankfully, I think my mindset is slowly coming out of it. But the worst thing is about it now, there's another mindset coming into it, I think, which is just as bad, of just like the toxicity you see all online and everything, or here online. Like, we kind of brought it up last week. It's like, I haven't touched Dragon Age. I've got it. Haven't touched it. I played like 2 hours of it, and I have not continued ever since then, because the whole shit you see online, and sadly I still see it through, even if I'm just scrolling through bloody Instagram, I see stupid shit all the time on it. And even though I just block it straight away, or I don't want to press the thing of don't want to see this thing. Don't want to see this stupid thing and whatnot. I still come across it, and it's just like, I don't care. I really don't care, and it's just I don't care inside, but it's annoying me, and it's making me not want to play something, which is really annoying, because I love Dragon Age, even though I only played one. And that's the thing that's more annoying for me.
To that point of sorry, the sirens on my end, if you can hear those. To that point of wanting to feel part of the conversation, part of the zeitgeist, I think that a lot of that comes down to just humans as a species. We are social creatures, and it's one of these that we need to feel part of the herd, part of the group, because evolution has told us that if you're an outcast, if you're not living with the tribe, then you're the one that gets picked off by the apex predator or whatever it is. So, and people like to feel included and be involved in community and feel inclusive and all that jazz. So there is that that desire to be part of that conversation. And to your point, and what like you've identified kind of thing, all the content around like podcasts and spoiler casts about games which have just come out and whatnot, that content doesn't go anywhere. It's kind of it's there for whenever you get round to it. And to that point of the kind of the toxicity around the kind of culture around particular games and the kind of lightning rods they are to certain types of people, and how that like dulls your experience of it. Yeah, I fully accept that it can be tricky to kind of switch that off and kind of like divorce yourself from that kind of not so much that conversation, but from that kind of aspect of it having a negative impact on your experience. Yeah, that's completely valid.
I mean, I get it. Like, there's two camps like you can fall into, and again, I think they're both equally valid. Like playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth earlier this year. You know, I was playing it at the same time Moody was playing it. You know, and then obviously Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You know, I'm playing it at the same time. You know, you're playing it, Vitz, and like that was fucking cool, right? Like texting each other backwards and forwards about these games, and like telling Moody, hey, you know, there's a difficulty spike. I know you don't like them, or like just. Have you finished it yet, Vitz? Have you finished it yet, Vitz? What the fuck? You know, like, but like equally, like look at this. We're fucking nerds, right? Like, if we play these games, we're fucking nerds. And like, if I hadn't have played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth until now, let's say I sat down and I was like, cool, I'm ready to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like, I couldn't have those conversations with Vitz now, even though, you know, you're not playing the game. Like, as you just said, you'd start playing Judgment. That's fucking cool. Hit me up whenever. I love talking about Judgment. I'll talk about it whenever. Like, not just in 20 whatever the fuck it was when I played it the first time. Like, like these conversations, it's definitely like more prevalent when the game is out, but they don't go away. Like, if you want to talk to me about a game, just, you know, talk to me about a game. Like, fucking, if I've played it, if I've played it, we'll have a great conversation. If I haven't played it, like my friend who plays Destiny, I'll still listen and nod and be like, oh yeah, I think I remember that character. But like, yeah, I think it can be fun. Sorry, it can be fun to be a part of those conversations, but you know, those conversations still exist.
No, 100%. And what I was going to allude to is that there is something utterly beautiful about coming across someone who's passionate about something. And it doesn't matter that you're necessarily passionate about the same thing. It's hearing that person wax lyrical about the thing that they are invested in, the thing that they love, kind of thing. So 100%. And like I said, all this content is evergreen, but yeah, there is that pull to be in that conversation. But if you come across someone who has played the game recently or just has that fond memories, you can still have that interaction. And it's finding it might be the wrong term to use. It's finding the healthy balance within yourself of feeling comfortable in your skin to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to wait for this zeitgeist to blow over and for all the vocal minorities to pipe down again. And then I'm going to enjoy the game at my own speed, which you should do with every single game. And you shouldn't need us to tell you that kind of thing, but sometimes we are the worst at taking our own advice. So
sure, yeah. It's tricky.
There's no doubt about it. Go on, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say it's tricky to identify whether you want to play a game or whether you want to play a game because everybody else is playing the game, and like figuring that out. Like, the easiest way to figure that out is just wait until everybody stopped talking about the game on social media, and then you'll know if you want to play the game or if you just want to play it because everybody else is playing it.
Yeah, it's like Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom recently. So like, I know when it first came out, I designed to pick that up day one, and that didn't happen, kind of thing. And then when I did pick it up, and so I think we all had it at some point. Still have it, yeah. And it's one of these things of there was that initial pull to play a release, but we still had a fruitful interaction and conversation about it after the fact when I got
and
to
we
it,
will again when I play it eventually.
Exactly, and it's one of these things of if the mood didn't strike you to play it at the time where you purchased it and you had a copy in your hand, that's fine too, kind of thing. You need to be in the right headspace to enjoy these experiences. And it's something we alluded to last week in terms of you're doing yourself a disservice, but also the game a disservice if you're trying to kind of force yourself to play an experience just to be part of the conversation.
Yeah. Sorry, Moody, go for it.
No. There's no doubt about, like, to show you that, like, delaying playing a game these days is the smartest choice to do, especially when it comes to AAA, because they're going to release it broken. They may not be like game breaking or anything like that, but the game's not going to play as good as what you probably would have maybe got it in at least the last generation or the generation before that and everything like that, and the generation before that. Things are just not as plain as good as they should be because of the capitalistic nature that there is that has ultimately come over video games at a higher level than there ever was before. And that is a shame about it. Like, I think I might have enjoyed I may not have been as critical on Double Exposure if it was as I was if those. Because like Amy, like she said herself, it was funny as hell watching a QA tester play this game going, for fuck's sake, these stupid background pop-ins and everything. It irritates me. It always has. It irritated the crap out of me. And yeah, I hate it because it sucks, especially with that type of game with such a story-based game. It sucks me out of the game when you just see something popping in there like that. And when why I haven't touched Scarlet or Violet of Pokemon. It's like they're broken. They still play like shit, and apparently, and today they still haven't fixed it. And my hope is that they're gonna do a patch when the new generation console comes out next year for them. No. But they probably fucking not, which irritates me even more. Yeah, and I'm probably never gonna play those games to the end.
Yeah, they have zero incentive to fix the game because everybody bought them. That's all they're interested in.
That's the worst thing about it.
Service whatsoever. After sale service.
So like, I mean, we've reached the territory of like the maybe part of the like maybe there are too many games, which for me like boils down to it's great that there's so many games. The maybe part comes down to discoverability is not in a good place right now. Like it's never been in a good place, I don't think, but it's gotten a lot worse since the implosion of Twitter, because I think there was a lot of connections in like between people on Twitter, whereas like it could be easier to select. There were people who would just talk about cool indie games that they found out, and then other people would find out about them. Like I got a lot of indie games of the week from like following and interacting with like people with like I call them indie game discoverers. They would just be like, look at this cool thing, or like just from like all of the devs that I followed or know personally. And it's like we're rebuilding that currently on Bluesky, because you can't really use the storefronts. Like I've tried the thing you click on Steam where it's like it gives you a queue of games to look through, and it's like, oh, maybe you'll like these based on the games that you play. And it's like, no, I don't want to play any of these games. Like half of them are just in here because they're new. Oh, this game just came out. I'm like, cool, I've never played a game like this on Steam. What the fuck are you talking about? Go home, you're drunk, Gabe. But there is sort of, if you want to step out of that AAA space, because you'll always know there's AAA games coming out. Like you turn on your fucking Xbox and it's blasting your head off about COD's out now, right? You go on the PlayStation Store and it's like whatever the most popular games are, like top selling games are, you'll see them all the time. Like I was looking through the Black Friday deals and it's like Spider-Man 2, and it's like, yeah, cool, but like scroll down. It's like if you want to go a step beyond that, even just one step beyond that, it can be difficult to find games. And I think that you have to put in some of the work. Like you have to meet the video games halfway, I guess, and like find the people who talk about these games like on your social media platform of choice, whatever that is. Like Bluesky is doing quite well with lists and starter packs at the moment that are really good for like following game developers and game discoverers, and follow people. Devs talk to each other and talk about each other's games all the time. They're a really good resource for finding like other cool games. People like myself, I talk about all sorts of different games. Like if I see a cool game on my feed, I just retweet it, like, because it looks pretty cool. So you need to find those setups, I think, to sort of aid yourself in that sort of discoverability. Like curate your own feeds, basically. If all you're seeing is AAA games pop up constantly on your feeds, that is hard, partially because of the systems, but also partially because that's partially a you problem as well, and you need to go out and fix that part for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And to that point, if you've experienced an indie title or any title, and whether it's big or small, let the creators know that that one, you played it, and then that two, you've enjoyed it, because that is so valuable to them. Because outside of sales figures that they'll get right through the various platforms that they sell the game through, there isn't really that many avenues of direct feedback, and it can be so rewarding for people. And something that we kind of trumpet on this very podcast is to wishlist games as well. And like, we have a segment, Indie Game of the Week, where we spotlight a new game, and an upcoming game, I should say. And it's one of these where yeah, you need to your point, Ames, you need to be kind of the master of your own curation as well, because in these systems where it is all algorithm based, you need to kind of tilt the deck to the games and experiences that you haven't seen before. And then the more that applies, then it will kind of snowball effect, and you'll get to see ever like new experiences. And the AAA marketing budgets, they're going to take care of everything else, so don't you worry
You're
about
never gonna not know that Dragon Age is coming out or Call of Duty is coming out, but you might miss a smaller title. And like that wishlisting feature on Steam, PlayStation, Epic, GOG, Xbox, everything, like, use it liberally. Not even like we champion it in Indie Game of the Week, because it is a massively helpful tool for indie developers and indie publishers. But like, if you just want to take that out of the way and say, okay, but how does this benefit me? Like, if you see a game that you think you might like to play, if you add it to your wish list on whatever platform you choose, you'll get an email when it comes out. So you'll know exactly when it comes out. So even if you just want to use it completely selfishly to remember games, it's bookmarking. It's like bookmarking. Like, I get emails all the fucking time because I just add things to my wish list that I might want to play. And then if I don't buy it there and then, it's still on my wish list. I'll get another email 6 months down the line. Hey, this game's on sale. Like, you'll get constant reminders that this game exists. And that can really benefit you, because like we were talking about in the first instance of this topic, it's like, if a game comes out and I look at it and I go, oh, I'm not really feeling this type of game, I'll leave it a bit. And then 6 months later, I get another email saying, hey, this game's 20% off. And I look at it and I go, oh, shit. Like, yeah, I'm really into this. Like, yeah, cool. Like, I don't have to put any work into remembering that game exists. The platform does it for me.
100%.
So that's my maybe. That's the maybe part of it. Like, because, you can't use the new release tabs. You can't use they're just not usable. I've tried scrolling them. I used to use them years and years ago, but it's just not possible now. Yeah. Or it's extremely
Are there too many games? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times.
Yeah. Well, I've got yes as well. There is the yes portion. And this one is a lot of from like trying to keep up with new releases, or like trying to see if anything slipped through the cracks, right? And it's like, you go on, like, I'll use the PlayStation Store as an example. It's like you click the new tab on the PlayStation Store, on the app, or on the PlayStation. And it defaults itself to sorting newly released games by how popular they are. So you get like your CODs and your whatever else. There's like Phasmophobia is up there at the minute because it just came out on PS5 and is really popular. And that's cool, like, it can be good to see that and see what's popular, and maybe something will pop out to you. But if you switch it to release date, so like go from like the newest game to the oldest game, what I've noticed happens is you get a lot of slop. And I don't necessarily mean like bad games, like, or games that I don't personally like. What I mean by slop is like the best way I could describe slop is, in this moment when I'm talking on this podcast, it's all of those fucking simulator games with the shitty AI generated key art. There's fucking hundreds of them. And like, you'll scroll and you'll see, oh, Rise of the Golden Idol's out, and then it'll be like fucking TCG card shop simulator and restaurant simulator and flight attendant simulator, and they've all got the same fucking weird AI art with the weird AI sheen, and it's just like, yeah, there's too many of those, for sure. Like, and it makes me think of that EA presentation earlier this year, where it's like, man, if they get their way and like that thing becomes a thing, all it'll be is slop. You'll never be able to find the actual games. We're already partway there as it is.
Yeah. And a lot of that responsibility, obviously, is on the platform holder as well. But as we've alluded to many times in this podcast, all they ever care about at the end of the day is money. They are getting their certification money in order to have
Getting
those
that 30%.
titles, listed on their platforms or whatnot. And that's it. That's why we get what was it, Black Tiger, which was like a fundamentally broken game.
Oh my god, what was it? The life of Black Tiger? It was
something like that.
That was back when it was like weird that
that was
that like a
exception to the
slot
rule.
game would come out on PS5. Yeah.
So yeah, it as I say, the responsibility also lies on the platform holder, but we need to be the vigilant ones here because they are not interested. Because proportionally, the lion's share of the money coming in is still from AAA and what have you. So the fact that the slop is getting through, they're just cashing in whatever cash it takes to list the game on your platform. So it makes no difference to them.
It just makes their storefronts look fuller. I guess. So that's the
We got tons of stock. It's all shit, but we got tons of it.
Look at it all. It's like flies buzzing around it, like stink lines coming off of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
because it's a digital store, you never in theory run out of space, apart from server space and whatnot. So it doesn't matter. You can. It's to Moody's point kind of thing about old games used to be. They had to be fixed and working before they shipped because the kind of the restrictions. Like not only did it spark creativity, but it had accountability as well, kind of thing. Because you only had one shot to kind of post a game, and then that was it.
I have to recall the cartridges. I know that happened. I know that's happened before. That's like a long time ago. But I had to write to.
Sorry, I had to write to the publisher US Gold for my copy of Street Fighter 2 on the Amiga 500 Plus because one of the AAA, one of the 3.5-inch floppy disks had balked. Then they sent me out like four new floppy disks.
Perfect. Love floppy disks.
Yeah.
The other part of yes as well is like there are just more games out there at every level, and like to Moody's point earlier, and I guess the point we've kind of been banging the drum about all year, it's just like if 6 games come out in October that you want to play, you don't have to try and play all 6 at once. In fact, you'll ruin your life trying to play video games like that. That's what Moody shouted at me.
February next year is absolutely stacked, and please, dear listener, don't try and play everything all at once.
Yeah, sure. Like tons of games came out over the summer. Like tons of cool looking indie games. And I played Elden Ring for 120 hours. And I don't feel guilty about that at all. I'll get back to those other games, hopefully. But, I had a great time.
You in the headspace to play Elden Ring? There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. I'm always in the headspace to play Elden Ring. That's my secret.
I got that. I got that reference.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything more? Anyone else have anything more, lad?
I played the games that appeal to you at any given time, and lift the voices of the ones which resonate with you in the moment and after the fact as well.
Yeah, let's do that. Best thing to do at the end of the day. And don't feel like you should play something just to get into the conversation. Like seriously, just get a good bunch of friends who will always be there just to have a conversation, even if they've played the game or haven't played the game or anything like that. Don't feel like you have to be. You're not a journalist who asked if we can get this thing played and reviewed and get it out at a certain time. You're not a content creator trying to do this, to do that type of thing either. And even if you are a content creator, freaking hell, you're overdoing it. They'll tell you that right now. You need to chill on that shit.
And here's the secret: your audience is there for you, not necessarily the games you play.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt about that. And it's just
I looked through our games that we played on Saturday. Sunday. Sorry, I keep saying Saturday. Yeah. I looked through like the games that we actually played, like the categories that we streamed, and it's like, people went there for the games. We only played 4.
And one of them we played twice because it was Halo.
And that I didn't actually change. We played it so briefly I didn't actually change the category for that one. But yeah, yeah, unless you have a professional obligation to like play the newest games, like don't feel like you have to. Like I was in my friend's stream, twitch.tv/TinyShotPlays. She's really, really lovely. She's playing Elden Ring at the minute. Like, and everybody's there for it because, you know, they're there for like what she's doing, not what she's playing. And it was just a fun, chill time. I mean, I get stressed watching people play video games. Because like when I know like, oh, you're supposed to go this way and they're not going that way, I'm like, why aren't you going that way? Like in my head, not in chat. I'm like, just go, don't fucking know.
Yeah, don't be that person.
Go that way. Go that way. The thing's up there. Oh, let me just wander. No, don't do that. But that's a me problem. But yeah, no, like, yeah, there's too many. The thing is about like content creators, like there's too many games for most people to keep up with anymore. Even if you are a content creator. So I guess like to staple on, like if you are like a content creator or a game reviewer or a video essayist or you do some kind of thing with like, you know, video games on YouTube or on a blog or something. It's just like, just the extra advice I'd give to you as somebody who's been there, is just to just focus on the ones that you want to do, right? Because there's nothing worse than trying to be a part of that conversation and failing, and then getting frustrated and then burning yourself out. And not everybody has a Moody to shout at them when they're just ruining their entire fucking life trying to keep up with video games.
Yeah. And like, whenever the next Pokemon title comes out, I know that Moody will be jumping all over it, and I'll have zero like desire to jump on board as part of that conversation. I will nod along politely to whatever they have to say. Oh, they got Pikachu in that game as well? Oh, that's wild. Yeah.
They always have Pikachu in the game. That's one thing I can pretty much say.
It's like EA Sports. Pikachu is always in the game. But yeah, no.
That was an interesting topic.
But it's one of those things, right? It's like you can ask the question, are there too many video games? And if you want to engage with a topic in bad faith, you can just have an answer, yes or no.
Yes.
But like with anything, almost anything, like the answer is never simple. And that's how I think we have, you know, these interesting discussions about them.
Absolutely.
Just get my own horn there and just give it a toot toot. But if no one's got anything else to add, shall we do a little indie game of the week?
Let's do it.
I may have pulled this one out of my notes app, specifically in response to Vitz saying maybe it's time to give Gran Turismo 7 a rest, because
I've already wished this title. So, yeah.
This is indie game of the week. This is the thing we do every week where we talk about a cool looking upcoming indie game that we think looks pretty good and we think you should wishlist it. Go have a look at click on the links, go and have a look at all the stuff. If you like indie games, or if you like games in general, if you scroll down to wherever you're choosing to listen to or watch this podcast, there's a link to our Steam Curator page, which has every single indie game of the week we have ever done on this podcast, which is well over 100 games at this point. So go click that. There's a sale happening. I don't know if you've heard. Lots of cheap games.
Steam sale.
Lots of cheap games. I don't know if you got the emails or unending notifications that never seem to stop, but it's a bit of a sale going on. So you might find a cool looking game, and it might be that right price where you just jump in and you might find your next favorite game. But this week, our indie game of the week is called Exo Rally Championship, which is, according to the Steam description, the galaxy's most dangerous off-road racing event. Welcome to the final frontier of racing. See what we did there. Remote, unexplored, extreme, exoplanetary rally. And I'm just going to cut the big paragraph out. Embark on a journey from the underdog to the champion, rising through the ranks and competing against the best teams for the ultimate Exo Rally Championship title. This game features wild, untamed planets, fierce weather, hardware breaking, temperatures and winds, otherworldly terrain formation and no roads in sights, hardcore off-road physics simulations, realistic tire models, drivetrains, suspensions, and damage, fuel and limited, and a bunch of other car things that I don't understand. But also, things explode in the trailer. I think you're getting bombed at one point. So, it looks like a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a Vitz game. I saw it and I was like, everything about this screams Vitz to me.
Yeah, every like piece of media that I've consumed about races that happen off planet, they tend to be some scoundrels, some bounty people who are out there taking pot shots at the races as they go back. So if people are getting bombed, that's par for the course.
That's just what happens, You go up to planet Zubar and shit blows up while you're trying to drive cars really fast.
Exactly. Motorsport is dangerous. Remember that.
Especially in space, apparently.
Yes.
But no, this looks cool. Exo Rally Championship.
And there's a demo available now, which you can download to your library and give it a whirl as well. But be sure to hit that wishlist button before you do any of that, in case you forget.
Hit the wishlist button on this and any other games in our Steam curation page. It's great. And like I said, it doesn't just help developers, although it really does help developers. But also, it's a very selfish thing. You'll find out about when games are coming out and when they go on sale.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Unless you get blown up while racing across the moons of Flim Flam.
Don't let that stop you. Shake it off.
Just walk it off.
Exactly.
Shall we go to a quick halftime break?
Let's do the thing.
We'll still be rolling the special effect halftime ad read for the rest of the year because the fundraiser is still open until December 31st. So if you feel like you want to give more to an amazing cause, you can. The link's in the description. And also there's a QR code on the screen while Vitz is talking about it.
That's true.
So we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
What's good, everybody? I hope you're having the best day. The Words About Games podcast is fundraising for the fabulous team over at Special Effect. If you didn't know, Special Effect is a charity that transforms the lives of physically disabled people all over the world through innovative use of technology. The heart of their work is the mission to maximize fun by helping people control video games to the best of their abilities. They're bringing families and friends together, having a profoundly positive impact in quality of life, confidence, and rehabilitation. Amy, Moody, and I have been working on a number of streams to bring you a whole host of shows, games, shenanigans, and more. Everything from ranking Resident Evil, becoming the noble team in Halo Reach, and finding our competitive streak in legally distinct and 90s game shows. We've got several more charity streams in the works, and with your help, we can get there. Special Effect is a charity near and dear to our hearts, and we'd love your support in raising as much money as possible to bring the joy of video games to so many more people. Simply click on the link in the description below of wherever you're enjoying this podcast or scan the QR code you see now. That will take you to our Just Giving page where you can learn more and donate. If you're not in a position to donate, that's more than okay. Times are tough and we understand. Please consider sharing our Just Giving page on social media. It will help spread the word and the work that we're doing. Thanks for listening, and for now, let's get back to the podcast.
And we are back, baby.
Hey.
Yes, again, even though we have technically ended our special effect fundraiser, the fundraising page is still open until the end of the year. So if you feel the spirit of generosity on this holiest of video game days, then maybe hit that donate button.
Yeah.
Before
just hit up Special Effect. They're on Bluesky now. So give them a shout out and let them know that you love the amazing work that they're doing.
Mm-hmm. They're very nice people.
That helps too. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Paige got another badass tattoo this week as well.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So yeah,
nice.
Give her a shout out.
Will do. Anyway, let's get back to our podcast where Moody wants to talk about handhelds. That was it. That was all the context I got. Handhelds. I had a guess from there.
Yeah. Well, basically, as we all know, like a PlayStation, or apparently PlayStation, or rumors of that, they're going to come back into the handheld portable market and everything like that.
Maybe.
And like, I don't think they were ever going to do this unless this was a success. And as we know, this has been a relatively great.
Listeners, Moody's holding up a PlayStation Portal.
have been a relatively really good success. And now with the added on benefit of like streaming on it, being able to stream the games, which to what I've been able to play with it works really well. Obviously, has to go off what internet connection you have and everything, and I have a reasonably decent internet connection around here. It plays really, really well. So basically, like obviously, like last week, like I went on the tangent of like, I don't think Microsoft have really done a really good at a tech side. I think as a software side, they're overall very well regarded and everything. But tech side, I think they've really just dropped the ball since basically every era apart from the 360 era. Even though then they had a bad time with that one with the red ring of death and everything for it. So like for me, I think the portable era for Microsoft, I think is just a bad idea overall. But I can understand. But I think PlayStation, the thing is about it. Yes, they obviously never supported the Vita, and what was their other one they had?
The PlayStation Portable.
Oh, it was portable. That's funny, that. so the next one is going to be. So the next one's going to be Vita 2. It is actually going to be the Vita 2. Holy shit! But anyway, I think because of their games and back catalogue that they have, I think they have a really good chance of being able to take a bit of probably truly complete this time with Nintendo. Obviously have got that market gobbled up right now, obviously with the Nintendo Switch and everything. I'm trying to pull mine out. It doesn't want to come out, so I'm just going to leave it in its box right now. Yeah, I was just thinking that I think they if PlayStation actually do this right this time and actually support it, not like their daft decisions that they've done before on the other ones, especially like with their bloody VR, how they've done with VR and everything, because the VR has just been like, I think overall a giant misstep by them, even by them and everything. I guess I can see why they want to get into it, but I think right now it's just the market is just not there for it. But I think the market for this is there, and they've already proven that there's because PlayStation have such a big audience. I think there's an audience that want a handheld PlayStation type of thing, and they've shown it with the incredible success of the portable. And I think if they bring out a console version of it, whatever that is, for probably the PS6 era, I think they could actually do what they said they were aiming to do in the PS4 era, where you could like do all three at the same time, basically, which just never really fulfilled it. And I think as they've seen what Nintendo can do, I think now they probably think we could actually do something really decent here. But I don't know. I'm maybe speaking out of my ass and everything. I can see Amy laughing in the background while I'm talking here.
You can do what Nintendo can do, and I flash back to Sega does what Nintendo does.
Exactly. We had the banger line last week, didn't we?
So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. What are your thoughts?
So to go off what you said, I think with the Portal itself, I think this is a device which PlayStation are actually getting behind. Unlike the PSVR 2, I think you only need to look at the fact that there is a 30th anniversary edition of the PlayStation Portal. To kind of back that up in terms of the kind of adoption rate. And they knew that this is it's a niche within a niche to begin with, but enough people have evidently adopted this to make it a success, depending on what their metrics for success are, kind of thing. And now that you can do cloud streaming, and I believe cloud streaming is only available if you have the highest tier of PS Plus, which I imagine is jolly expensive at the best of times. But yeah, so if that's a thing for you, then for sure go for it. I think with a design like this, it's apparent to me that the only way this works is if it's effectively a PS5 portable in your hand in terms of the horsepower. So whenever PS6 lands, this launches at the same time and it allows you to play quote-unquote PS6 games, but essentially it's a PS5 SKU of it running natively on your device. And then hopefully they have the wherewithal to do the whole cross-play, cross-progression thing where you put down that device and you can pick up your PS6 version of the game and it's instantly picking up where you dropped it off. You'll save transfer over. There's one trophy list to go across both SKUs and what have you. I think that's the only way this works. And yeah, to elaborate on why the Microsoft thing and why I personally was negative about it is that I don't think the library's there to support a Microsoft exclusive device in terms of there's no guarantee that handheld will support Steam without a bit of jailbreaking to it and what have you. So it's kind of, okay, so what titles were you bringing on there you won't be able to get on a PlayStation device kind of thing, which will have evidently all of the Xbox format exclusives.
Your PlayStation
plus
is
third
an
party,
Xbox.
yeah. Exactly. Everything's an Xbox. Yeah, and it's one of these. And yeah, to the success of the PSP, I think a lot of that boils down to the fact that it could be jailbroken and was allegedly an amazing emulation device for older consoles as well. So I think that drove the popularity of that, and the Vita was lesser so because you have the first party studios trying to build another SKU of games on a platform which was kind of lesser than the contemporary console at the time. I think that was a challenge. But I don't think that will be a road that people will be going down now because they are still developing a PS5 SKU. Because as we alluded to, all these PS6 games, especially in the early launch window, they're going to have a PS5 SKU as well because that's where the install base is going to be. So if you can get that running on whatever this Portal 2 or whatever it is, then I think that's the way to go. And there is room in the market for a premium end handheld, which is OLED and maybe has all of the back paddles and whatnot that the Edge controller has, and that's the kind of one-upmanship that you can have of the regular Portal. But there's no reason, and if they can get like PSSR running on that system as well, then there's no reason why you can't have PSSR, and then you can have a comparative experience with what you're playing. For me personally, a device like that doesn't appeal to me because when I'm playing a game, I'm in front of my TV kind of thing, and that's how that's how I prefer to enjoy my video games. But I know that that's different for people who have, I think they're called social lives, and they go outside sometimes, but it's scary out there. So yeah.
I have YouTube when I'm out and about.
To answer the one thing you said, though, it's like it needs to like basically do what the Switch can do. Basically, the portable does that. Like I play on my console or here, or if I have it on my TV, and if I want to switch over to the portable, say I want to watch something, it switches over and the save and everything transfers over quite simple. Yes, it isn't a dock where it just switches straight away. I have to turn this on, make it connect and everything like that. But it does it. It does everything I needed to do and whatnot. So they're already halfway there, if not even more than halfway there, to be able to pull this off quite easily for themselves.
I think there's a slight difference between so the Portal, as I understand it, it's either doing everything remotely, right? So it's either remote playing your local PS5, which is next to a TV, or it's tapping into the cloud on a PS5 somewhere out in the cloud kind of thing. I'm talking about the game playing natively on your portable device, so you can take it on a plane, on a train, wherever it happened to be, kind of thing. I was going to say in a car, but no, you'll be driving.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Driving.
Depending on the game, obviously it's going through cloud right now and everything. It can do that. Like I can take this out of here, connect to the internet somewhere else, and play Judgment, what I'm playing right now, and it'll continue where I saved from on my console.
100%,
so so like it is already halfway there. I get what you're saying.
Sure.
Obviously improvements need to be happened on it and everything, but the ultimate comes down to is that if Sony do this, they need to fucking support it this time. They actually need to support it because they let the Vita die poorly, I thought. And it's just like it is a really good. I prefer this over the Switch. The Switch doesn't really feel good in my hands. That's why I prefer to play it in dock mode all the time. But this, I have no problem if holding it in my hand. It feels comfortable for me, and I enjoy the experience and everything.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
the
the
thing
same
about
form
it.
factor as the DualSense, which you're accustomed to, kind of thing. And
Best controller
what
out
absolutely. And what I think of this device is there won't be any exclusive titles for this portable thing. Everything will be one-to-one with whatever's coming out on PS5 or PS6. So you're not going to get into the issue where Sony aren't supporting it because all of their first-party titles are coming out across everything.
Yeah. It'd be smart of them to do that as well. So
But again, all this is down to subjective, and it's all insider talk. And the latest rumbling from insider, which I think is potentially far more interesting, is that the Bloodborne servers, they are going offline on the 3rd of December, as PlayStation are doing a thing on the 3rd of December. So all of those people guzzling down the copium, hoping for something Bloodborne 60 FPS or a remaster or a remake vibes, we eating.
What are PlayStation doing on the 3rd of December?
So the 3rd of December is like a huge anniversary, and they released a so they do like their adverts that they do, which are like TV reels and things, and they posted one on the YouTube channel and across PlayStation blog, and it teased it had like an arrivals board like you find at a train station or an airport, and it teased the date 3rd of December 2024. So there's scuttlebutt going around that they're having some sort of event, and whether it will be like not so much a state of play, but more like it might be a state of play actually, but they're having something around that because that is an important anniversary, or it harks back to it's an important date for PlayStation in some sense. So yeah, the scuttlebutt that things are afoot.
When they announced that they've bought From Software and everyone cries out in havoc.
Please don't. I was having such a lovely day. Yeah, PlayStation might possibly because I actually read like people are rampaging across the internet right now that PlayStation are making a handheld, and then what I did was this fascinating concept of I clicked on the link and read the story. And it's like,
mad woman.
They might be maybe thinking about potentially making a handheld, but they're not sure. If
this product comes to market, yeah.
Which is insider talk for, we're not sure. I mean, one, you mentioned Pisser. I mean, Pisser needs to work properly first. Like, I was reading a story earlier today about Alan Wake, about Remedy are currently working on a PS5 Pro patch for Alan Wake 2. Because Pisser is actually making the game run and look worse.
Awesome.
So
interesting.
Yeah, they need to make that work properly first. As far as like a handheld to it depends. Like, can it be successful? Yeah, sure. Like, the Portal was good because even though it was a niche within a niche, it was targeting a very specific segment, right? It's like
they had a use case, yeah.
If Moody's partner wants to watch whatever on the TV, but Moody wants to play Judgment, Moody can just pop the Portal out and play Judgment while the TV's going. Like, if the kids want to watch Bluey and you want to play a Bloodborne... Which
they should, because it's amazing. If you haven't watched all 3 seasons of Bluey, I highly recommend it.
We put it on for our dog when we leave the house.
Hooray! Again, that's a good use case. Where the handheld that they're talking about, for me, it depends on how they go about it. Like, it's not going to be a dedicated handheld. It's not going to play its own games. It's not going to play games natively. I don't think any of those things are true. If they try to make a PS5 in your hands, it's going to be too expensive. If they try to go down
too big.
and probably too big or too hot, one of the two. Like, and again, these are just my personal opinions about it, and I've been wrong about stuff in the past. Like, if they try to go toe to toe with Switch or Switch 2, they're going to get buried, and support will dry up for it. Like, as a handheld streaming device, I've always had an issue with this concept. Like, I mean, not like I hate this concept. I just mean I've always had an issue with this concept working, because as Moody's just alluded to, like, your PlayStation Portal can do this if you take it out, but crucially, connect to internet. And I'm guessing this internet has to be strong enough to actually stream a game. And it's not just about download speed, it's about upload speed, because those buttons you push have to register with the cloud. So, like, I think about all of the places that I go, right? It's like, if I go to a friend's house, well, I'm not going to whip my fucking PlayStation Portal out while I'm hanging out with my friends, because that would be very rude. And
unless you're like, hey, check out this cool thing I got.
Yeah, sure. Hey, check out these cool rocks. But it's like, okay, so where am I going to use it? I'm going to use it on the bus. The bus Wi-Fi can't handle fucking YouTube. How's it going to handle a PlayStation 5 game or PlayStation 6 game? Like, where am I going to be out in the world where I'm going to be able to use this device. Like, if it works like that.
Your phone,
but
then
then
that's
it's a phone signal thing, right? Like, you have phone, then your phone internet has to have signal. And it has to be fast enough, again, to run these games. Like, I praised xCloud a lot, but, like, even on my phone signal, like, strongly, like, there is input lag on games that are like Halo, for example, where it's like, you know, you need the thing to happen in the game pretty much as soon as you push the button. Otherwise, like, you're not gonna have a good time playing it. And like, there is notable input lag in that kind of thing. And then it's like, well, I look at the other handheld. It's like Switch. Yeah, sure, it's not as powerful as a PS5, and I can't run PS5 games, but like the games that are designed for that system, mostly, if they're not called Pokemon. So, like, you know, you put the game in and it works, and it works well enough whether you dock it or whether you play it in handheld mode. And then I think, well, what's the other alternative? The Steam Deck. But you download the games onto the Steam Deck and they run natively.
Yes.
And then that circles me back to PlayStation aren't going to release this for like £200 like they did with the Portal, which is one of the reasons I think that the PlayStation Portal was enough of a success, because the price point was right. Unless they're going to sell this new portable device for around about the same price. Like, it needs to fit in as a peripheral as opposed to it's its own thing. Like, PSVR feels like it's its own thing because it costs as much as a console. And that's why it's not selling. Like, there's not enough experiences on it for sure, because people aren't making games for it. I don't know why they made a second one. if they didn't already have people making games for it, which they clearly didn't. And it's just too damn expensive to justify the cost. And I think where any potential PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 6, I guess, handheld is going to fumble is either going to be in how it works or in its price point. I think PlayStation can resolve one of those two things, but I don't think they can resolve both at the same time unless they eat a big loss on selling it.
Yeah, which I don't think they're prepared to do, and I think it's important to also acknowledge that this is a PlayStation that are prepared to put a PS5 Pro out there for £700 as a base kind of thing, and then people need to buy a disc drive and a stand and what have you on top of that. And it's I can see this thing, and then if it is designed to play titles natively on the device to solve that issue, I can see it retailing for $500 to $600.
And it's done,
which is ridiculous amount of money. Yeah,
yeah, it's done at that point. Like,
and it'll be the same crowd who pick up PS5 Pro, which will pick up this because they have an innate need to have the latest, greatest, shiniest, and best. And more power to you. I'm just not one of those right now. Yeah,
and I mean, massive caveat to everything I'm saying. I'm not a handheld gamer. I don't play games handheld. I'm not a fan of it. Like, so there is also that to factor in as well, to my opinion.
But yeah, if it has enough utility and to your point, if it meets the needs of the people of the niche that they're going for, then have at it.
If they put it out at a stupid price like they did with the PS5 Pro, then yeah, this thing will sync as fast as the Vita did and their VR headsets will. No doubt about that. I hope that they would be smart enough. This is a corporation, by the way, when I say this, that they would be smart enough to at least go, let's just put it at the price of whatever the Switch 2 is going to be, and whatnot. That'll be the best idea for them to do and everything, and just stick it to that. It'll be simple. It'll be easy for them to then just keep up with the market and whatnot. Or heck, go to even more bonkers thing and go with 50 quid cheaper. And you just need premium for whatever that is at that time when it comes out.
Yeah,
and
every month it's like, we're 50 quid cheaper, we're 35 quid cheaper. It's like every month you have this thing.
No longer cheaper.
Every month you have this thing, it's getting more expensive.
We're £50 cheaper, but yeah, PS Plus is now 50 quid.
So at the end of the day, deep down, they don't really even need to do a new one. They've got it. The portable works perfectly well. It does everything you need it to do.
It's the same argument I've been making about the Xbox handheld, like that people are trying to get going as a rumor. It's just like,
I've got one. It's a phone.
Yeah, and that's what I've always been saying. But especially with my Xbox's new marketing push of this is an Xbox and this is an Xbox, it's like I feel like that just reinforces. I feel like that just reinforces like what I've been saying. It's like they don't need to make a dedicated handheld. They have millions of dedicated handhelds, like, and that's the strategy. Like, it would be ludicrous for Xbox to make its own dedicated handheld when Steam Deck can be a dedicated handheld for Xbox games, when fucking your phone can be a dedicated handheld for Xbox games, with the low price of like what, a 20 quid controller thing you can stick on the side of it. Like,
slight counterpoint. What would Sarah Bond, which rakes would she be able to step on if not talking about a next piece of Xbox hardware? Because she's already stepping on the ones about saying the next Xbox is going to be the greatest generational leap ever. What else would she have to... There'll be no rakes for her to step on if they're not making new handheld devices.
And then Xbox could focus on just being like a, tolerable video game company. Won't that be a great
that's asking too much.
But I think it's the same thing with PlayStation. I don't see... I see the audience, and I know there's an audience for a PlayStation Portable. Another PlayStation, but a new PlayStation Portable device. But I don't see how PlayStation can meet that audience, because they can like price it lower than the Switch. Great. The Switch 2 is a PS4. It's a hell of a lot cheaper to make one of those than a portable PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 6. And then it's the streaming thing. It's like, how often are you going to be able to use that streaming outside? And I'm just going back around on the thoughts that are swirling around in my head. It's like, if they priced a portable device at the same price as the Switch 2, they could find moderate success in that. But I don't know what that portable device would look like at that cost, like to build it, not necessarily to sell it, but like how much is it going to cost to build something like that can serve all of the needs, because all of those needs, without just making another handheld that has different games like the Vita did. Which would also not be a good idea. Don't do that. Actually.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake for them to do it. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing, and I don't think we'll hear about this for a good while yet. Anyway, if these rumors are true, and obviously this whole conversation comes with a huge caveat of if this wasn't just something that was drummed up because people need to fill in digital column inches the week before Thanksgiving. Yeah, exactly.
My bold prediction is nothing. They don't do this. Like, this doesn't happen. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Bloodborne thing is just like, I have Bloodborne at home. And the great thing is it's actually Bloodborne.
But they might make the crows less loud this time.
No, they'll make them louder. At 60 frames a second, like, it'll somehow increase the volume.
Yeah, like all the crows like doubled stereo now. So it's intense in your ears. They ship an actual crow to your home to squawk at the same time.
I prefer games to run at 60 frames a second over 30 frames a second, but like Bloodborne is still one of my favorite games of all time at 30, so I don't really give a shit if it runs at 60. Like, I'm not going to like it more if it runs at 60 frames a second than I already do.
This is interesting. Okay.
I don't really care what
I would test that theory in terms of it having more fluid movement and stuff like that, and whether that would elevate the experience to you.
If that was the case, would I not prefer Elden Ring already?
I know, because Bloodborne has a different one. You may vibe with the aesthetic more. You might vibe with the environmental level design more and things like that, and the story it's trying to tell, and the boss designs and the mechanics of the various different boss fights and things over an Elden Ring.
That's fair. I realized it as soon as I said it was a dumb thing. So.
It's all good.
Hey, you know what?
We say dumb things all the time.
Maybe we'll be able to put this to the test after they do whatever they're doing on the 3rd of December. You can tell my enthusiasm by how I'm talking about it right now.
I will jump on that bullet and I will watch whatever thing they have to say on the 3rd. Jump on the
them, tell them that they've bought From Software.
if PlayStation buy, oh my god.
Well, the rumor to be in talks with the company who owns From Software. So yeah,
like, they don't just own From Software. I
And
don't
they've
think
both come
It's
out
a bunch of other stuff. Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
people
this is-
realize how many things PlayStation will own, and it's just like, have we not suffered enough with all of these fucking acquisitions over the last few years?
No.
No, because they don't have a streaming service at the moment, and they need one of those. So
They've
they
got
need to buy it.
Crunchyroll
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but
Let's
they
say
need
have
more.
and
Crunchyroll.
Funimation. Oh, shut that down.
Don't,
Because,
I would say they don't have that anymore.
yeah,
Shut that down.
they shut that down because, again, have we not suffered enough with all of these goddamn acquisitions? Like, I fucking hate the future. It sucks. I want to go back in time.
The thing is, I don't think PlayStation I don't think Sony want a streaming app to put everything all on and everything. I think when it comes to animation, like anime, they do, because anime is a massive market that I don't think that they've just gobbled up, basically. But when it comes to like their movies and everything like that, I think they just prefer to put it on whatever company wants to pay for them.
Yeah,
And
they
take
could
the
have dealt with
royalties.
Netflix or
Yeah, that's why they've got they did a deal with Netflix. They've done a deal with Disney because the Spider-Mans are on there. So they are okay with it. I think they're absolutely fine with that. I think they're absolutely fine, really, when it comes to that type of thing. When it comes to like the gaming thing, I think they deep down they just did it because Microsoft have done one for Game Pass. And I think they just went, all right, we'll do it, but we'll do it our way.
Yeah, we'll buy Gaikai.
Oh god! I remember when I heard, because I didn't know much about anything when that came all out and everything. When I heard the first things about that, I was thinking, "Oh, that sounds really good." I won't lie, because like that's when I probably came back into gaming, as Amy knows. Like I missed a lot of like the PS3, Xbox 360 generation. So like I had no idea what the hell was really going on and everything. So when I heard that, I was thinking, "Oh, that sounds really awesome," and it did. It did. I won't lie. It sounded awesome. I didn't realize it crashed and burned.
Like
there
many
was
of these
nothing. It was just-
acquisitions. Look at how great Bungie's doing right now. Like, I want them to just leave it alone, but they won't leave it alone.
No.
The thing is that they're doing it because of Microsoft at the end of the day.
And then Microsoft will go out and buy somebody else, and PlayStation will buy somebody else, and then, hey, maybe we'll just end up in a game industry with no one making any fucking games, and it'll be great.
And then Tencent will buy them all up.
And then I can finally cut the cord and stop buying new games altogether.
Can I go on a quick tangent about Tencent for a second?
If you want.
I posted.
Oh,
I
thing.
posted
No.
Light of Motrium is the new title. Polaris Quest, the subsidiary of Tencent Games, has announced Light of Motrium, an open-world survival crafting game with mechanized animal beasts.
If you're gonna rip off Horizon Zero Dawn, don't make it the fucking shittiest version of Horizon Zero Dawn you could possibly. Like, fuck me, man. A survival open world crafting game, fucking that, because that's exactly what I was hoping for. Sorry, continue.
No, it's like if you're gonna copy somebody else's homework, like at least have the mind knowledge to kind of change a little bit, change your name at the top of it, and don't have your main character look like Aloy.
But then how will people know that it's a Horizon ripoff?
Oh yes, I mean this is true, but this looks like it's got a Power World lawsuit written all over it. So I'm sure the PlayStation lawyers are getting ready to release the hounds at any point. But yeah, as I posted, it looks like Horizon from Temu. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I thought it was. I thought you posted me like some PlayStation, like, because when I saw it, and I thought like, oh, it's like PlayStation are making like another Horizon spin. I thought, okay, whatever. Like, doesn't sound like it's for me. And then I actually read what it was about, and I was like, "Oh, are you fucking kidding me?" And then I started zooming in on that image, and I was like, looks a bit fishy. This one, like,
This ain't it, Chief.
This doesn't look like it was touched by human hands, but allegedly,
It looks like the hands were used to insert a prompt into something.
It looks like it was touched by human fingers on a keyboard.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, that, dear friends, is not what I'm here to talk about this week on the Words About Games podcast. I had taken a trip into Night City a little later than people have already explored the city, as it were. So I picked up Cyberpunk 2077 recently, and I bought the Ultimate Edition or whatever it's called, where it's got the base game and then Phantom Liberty DLC bundled in. And I picked this up on PS5, and I'm around about 10 hours in so far. Around about 3 hours ago of game time, I hit the title card.
Nice.
So
Has Keanu Reeves said, "Wake the fuck up, samurai," yet?
he hasn't said those words, but I have come across
Iconic.
the character.
Iconic from that 1E3 where the advert was on every 20 minutes. Wake the fuck up,
And then he came
samurai."
out, and it's "You're breathtaking." But yeah, it's good fun so far. There are a few seams and things which I can, and some faults in technical faults which I can see, which I hoped they would have ironed out by now. But I appreciate that this is a massive game, and I shouldn't necessarily expect it to be flawless in every single bit of its execution. But from what I understand, there are a lot of quality of life updates which were implemented with Phantom Liberty, which have rolled out to the base game, and it's fun so far. The driving mechanics they feel a little stiff. I will say my in-game character, the character's named V. If you didn't know, so my V, she stole a motorcycle off someone, and that handled brilliantly. So the bikes handle so much better than the cars do, and it's not. If you're familiar with the Grand Theft Auto games, the driving in those games is actually there's a lot of depth to it. And it's but there's also a lot of accessibility in terms of the pick up and play nature, and being able just to slide a car around the corner using the handbrake or e-brake if that's where it is in your part of the world. In Cyberpunk, it's not like that. I thought I came across a bunch of racing missions, but it turns out no, it was just to pick up one of Keanu's old cars. But I'm sure there will be races in
There's
there.
all races in there because I know there's a character. I
started with the Nomad background because, as I understand it, Alana Pierce, she's featured in the game and she's part of that Nomad kind of starting area. But whether they've changed that in light of all the stuff they brought over from Phantom Liberty to kind of speed run you through the intro section, they've kind of stripped that out. So regardless of where you start, within like 10 minutes you're in Night City doing a job, and I think the actual the beats of the game would be the same whichever background you picked. Now I could be wrong in that instance because I thought I'd be hanging out in a similar way where in Breath of the Wild you're in the Atlas Plateau and then you jump off once you've explored that kind of thing. I thought whatever starting thing you picked, you'll be knocking around there for a number of hours and then you head into the city. But it's not like that. But yeah, it's fun. The characters I'm vibing with. As I said, there's some technical limitations, and I'm playing on the performance setting, which aims to hit 60 FPS at 4K, or rather probably 1440p then super sampled up. And then I turned on what the ray tracing mode looked like, and it looked good. But it played at 30. There's still some ghosting artifacts which are happening, especially on some of the vehicles, which takes you out of it a little bit. And there's still some weird things where mirrors and any mirrored surface in the game will only work when you interact with them. So you have an apartment, then you go to the mirror, and you have to interact with it in order for your reflection to turn up.
Sure.
And
that's just video games in general.
Yeah, and it's silly things like your character will still be fully clothed when they take a shower or use the restroom or go to sleep, and they'll sleep just on top of the covers like all video game characters do. And it's kind of there's certain things like that. But I'm digging the story at the moment, and I'm looking forward to sinking many, many, many more hours into this. In the combat sections that I've and the music hits and it's banging, and the gunplay itself feels really, really good. I will say that. I recently stole a katana of someone, so I'm looking forward to getting to the melee stuff. But yeah, this game is awesome.
Cool. That's good to hear. Like when I was before the game came out, the last EGX I was at, they were doing theater demos of Cyberpunk. With Holly Bennett was doing some stuff, and there was a developer there as well, like doing a whole hour-long walkthrough in an air-conditioned theater. It was great. But it looked really cool. And obviously the game fucking imploded when it came out. So I think a lot of people like myself and Moody and just you Vitz, we all avoided it.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where it's like I do want to go back to it because The Witcher 3 was life-changingly good experience, and The Witcher 2 is also like an incredible video game. So it's good to hear that you're having a good time with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I said, I'm around 10 hours and I'm probably just scratching the surface of it.
Sure.
And yeah, it's one of these where there's a lot of side activity to do. And one of the early missions I did was for a essentially Uber service run by an AI called Delamain. And some of their vehicles have gone rogue. And so you're tasked with essentially going up to find these cars and kind of coerce them into going back to their home base to get their firmware updated or whatever it is. And there are some really, really fun cameos in there. One of them is GLaDOS from Portal.
Oh, sure.
So her voice comes out of this AI car and is she's running off lines from the original Portal game.
That's
it's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a few really neat touches of those kind of thing, and with that quest, it has you going to various parts of the map which you haven't necessarily explored before, or at least I haven't in my playthrough. And with that, there are some drawbacks, like you would in any RPG, in terms of the predominant quest giver in that region will blow up your phone and say, "Oh, I'm your fixer for this region. So come swing by and you'll get some quests." And because you're doing this in like sequence, and there's 7 of these cars to go find, so you're in these 7 different regions, and it's notification city of just popping up saying, "Oh, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this." So all that's a bit overwhelming. But
So do chill.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but as I say, I wasn't expecting that cameo to pop up, and I imagine there's loads of those to come through. So yeah, it's always good to hear GLaDOS pop up. So I popped off for that one.
So like you're doing a lot of combat, I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Like how malleable is it as a game? Like how many different approaches are there? Like, can you avoid combat with stealth, with speech?
Yes. So I imagine there's some instances where you can smart talk your way out of combat scenarios, and there's very different ways of using cybernetics and things to essentially manipulate your environment to work against you. So whether that's incapacitating enemies or distracting them and whatnot, so you can sneak through. But I think there are definitely certain sections which you are essentially going to have to fight, so that there's no way around it, kind of thing. But to that point, there are several different ways you can go about it. So whether it is using whatever different types of guns you want, or you can go like a full melee build. And with that, there's a whole lot of flexibility in terms of, okay, you can go up close and personal with the shotguns, or you can have more ranged weapons. And at least in the early game, I've been picking up some decent variety of them. So I will have rifles with scopes on them, so I can just go and do a bit of snipe time at the back, rather than being up close and personal with it. So there is some flexibility there, but yeah, I'm sure as I get into it, there'll be more opportunities to be able to use some of the other perks that I've built into my character to kind of avoid those situations should I want.
Nice. So the level design's good as well. Like I don't mean like the world. I mean like when you're doing missions and stuff. Like there's just like different like ways to like get around and do whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah. There is a kind of a golden path that you want you to take through a mission, and there'll be in the minimap there'll be like a route to say, okay, head on this way, but you can go about it whatever you want, so long as you end up at that point of interest, then you're fine.
It's like, oh, there's a room full of like bad guys. It's like, oh, I can kick the door through and just start fucking shooting like Picard in Star Trek First Contact. Yep. But also like and it's just a general idea of like, oh, there's a vent you can climb up and get above, or like you can like memorize the enemy patrol patterns and maybe come this way and sneak around, or like how many different like avenues of I guess is like progress is there?
So I will say that there's not so much avenues, but there is like a stealthy way to get through sections, and there's a loud way to get through sections. I will say that much. I have come across missions where you use various different bits of tech to essentially have a spider-looking robot go in through the vents and go and incapacitate certain things and shut off computers and shut off security cameras and whatnot to make your life more easier. But those are entirely optional to do as well.
Sure, yeah,
cool. I wouldn't go so far as I'm not going to hit you with the spiel that's an immersive sim. I'm not going to say that, but yeah, there is at least in the early section, there's a healthy amount of flexibility, which I'm sure will expand. And depending on what you build your character out to be, you will have. I mean, I'm already having certain dialogue options pop up in the dialogue tree because of how I spec my character, which will be unique to that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
And but yeah, my character, she has an attitude anyway, and she had like a chip on her shoulder about things, so it's kind of just leaning into that and in sort of that kind of Mass Effect style in terms of you're always going to do the right thing eventually, but you can be an asshole about it. In the same way that Paragon and Renegade, they still have you get to the same end goal. It's just the route that you take there.
I don't know if asshole covers Renegade quite so. I think that's underselling how much of a horrible person you can be in Mass Effect.
I never explored Renegade, to be fair. My
Good.
my shepherd was Paragon all the way, yeah.
And there's some great Renegade options in Mass Effect, but holy shit, there are some other options in that game.
I will say from a character creator point of view, it wasn't as in depth as I was initially thinking. So essentially, it gives you 4 presets to kind of build off, and then there's a number of options when it comes to your various different, like your nose design and your ear design, but there isn't the kind of the
What design?
The depth of there's not so much the level of detail in terms of going in with the sliders and adjusting like the eye width and stuff like that. And there is just a fixed amount of eyes, and whilst there is like 40 different hairstyles, it still didn't have kind of the depth that I was personally looking for. And I found one that was all different kinds of badass for my V that I was looking for, but it was kind of, you are dealing from a limited set, and from an inclusivity point of view, and I think this was lauded when the game first came out kind of thing, you can pick whatever genitals that you want for your character, and you can still have them present to be whoever they want. and it's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Genital customization.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. They do mislabel things though. So
sure. I know about I know about the Cyberpunk character creator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like read a biology book, and then label your things.
No, it's cool. Like I'm looking forward to getting it. Like I said on the stream when you bought it and we talked about it. It's like I need to get my processor upgraded first before I dive into that. Now, it's one of those games where I'm like, I want to play this on PC.
Sunglasses might be a viable strap for this because it flashbangs you all the freaking time. In terms of the splash screen when you first load into the game is bright yellow, and then whenever you go into I forgot what they call it, but essentially when you go into a digitized version of a dream, and you can do like a Batman Arkham thing where you can rewind the footage and go in and seek out clues and whatnot. Each of those sections, which are really, really cool, they start with like a flashbang, which Ben Starr got hit with at the Game Awards. It's one of these where that happens often, yeah.
Cool. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Cool. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I'm excited to keep playing it, and as I say, the bikes feel really good to ride, so I'm looking forward to stealing or buying a really, really good one. I know essentially the bike from Akira is in this game as well, so I'm looking forward to getting the credits in order to get that.
Nice. It's Watch Dogs 2. I've been trying to think of it since you mentioned it. I was like, I've played an open world game where the cars handle like shit, but the bikes were really good. It was Watch Dogs 2. I'm like, what game was it? Racking my brain for the last 20 minutes. Cool. Look forward to hearing more about it.
Hell yeah.
Look forward to playing it for myself. Cyberpunk 2077 Early Impressions by Vitz.
Fuck up, Samurai.
If he doesn't say it throughout the whole game, though, I'm gonna be miffed. After the amount of times I've fucking heard it. It's at 1E3 where it was like, it was the same 3 adverts on Twitch. So it was Cyberpunk 2077, Intel, Planet Zoo, and then you watch like a 15-minute interview about some fucking game or another. Cut to an ad break. Cyberpunk, Intel, Planet Zoo. Every 15 minutes, wake the fuck up, samurai.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it. Let me die. Cool. That is going to do it for that part of the podcast, which means it is time for OpenCritic Head-To-Head. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the upcoming OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Didn't say that right. That's fine. Whoever gets as closest to the score gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. A couple weeks ago, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
And my God, did Microsoft fumble the ball on this one?
The reviews did not drop, but I think we all saw the writing on the wall of this one when the Steam reviews came in at 25%, mostly negative, and the gameplay videos started coming out. But for the record, I guessed it would get an 80. Moody guessed it would get a 90. Vitz guessed it would get a 92 at the time of recording. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 has an OpenCritic average of 77, which is a lot higher than it was when it first started getting reviews.
Yeah, if you think about how lauded Flight Sim 2023 was in terms of its technical achievements and things like that, and how well it rated on OpenCritic and things like that, for it to get a 77, as you say, it's come up since what it first started with, then you can see how much the kind of delta is between what it's actually wound up at and the kind of the region at where, say, Moody and I were pitching it to be. You can see how how hard they fumbled the ball on this one.
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because the reviews right now reflect the state of the game right now, which is fair, because you can only review what you've played.
What you've got, yeah.
What they've got at the moment is a game that is kind of being held back by technical issues, like major technical issues. Like it sounds like buried underneath the technical issues is a really good game, which makes a lot of sense because the last Flight Simulator was a really good game. And it is that interesting thing of like, imagine like a year from now looking at the review scores and let's say it's around the same mark, and it's like, but the game has fulfilled its potential. And it's an interesting thing about like how games are developed in the modern times versus like how reviews haven't really changed to keep up with that.
And I think that a lot of that is down to the appetite of the consumer as well, because obviously I think they will have done like A/B split tests in terms of how much of our consumer base is actually looking for an updated review, like a year on, 2 years on, or what, and that kind of thing. But also, none of this should be a surprise to the team behind Flight Sim. And it's kind of, okay, if you're experiencing these technical bugs in your testing and whatnot, then your game's not ready for prime time. You should delay the fucker. Do you know what I mean? At some point, you should say, okay, I know we've got all the marketing out there, and I know it'll suck to delay the game, but we are going to forget about reviewers. We're going to let our fan base down. The people who have pre-ordered, who have paid the extra money on top of Game Pass in order to get this 5 days early or whatever it is, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, right. So that puts the current scores: Amy 34, Moody 45, Vitz 28, with 6 draws. I wonder who's going to win this year. I'm on the edge of my seat, trying to figure it out. This week, we're going to guess the OpenCritic average of 3 games. The first one, Fantasian Neo Dimension, which is a game I really wish was coming out in a couple of months because I'd like to play this like now, but like I'm playing other things and I'm happy playing other things. And I just came out of Fallout New Vegas. I don't think I've got like a big RPG in me right now. But by the creator of Final Fantasy, that's a good marketing pitch. That
holds a lot of weight. Yeah.
That's a good marketing pitch for Amy.
Oh, and it looks gorgeous as well.
Vitz.
Nobu Sakaguchi, absolutely, yeah. I would like to go with an 85, please.
AC5.
Yeah.
I love the crazy names they come up with for these games as well, like fucking Triangle Strategy, Octopath Traveler, Fantasia New Dimension.
What I'd love to find out, and forgive me, this is my ignorance on that, is what those names actually translate to in the domestic market in terms of what do they just mean regular ass words in Japanese in
Maybe,
kanji
yeah.
and stuff like that, and it's just over in English here in Gaijin land.
Maybe like Triangle
It sounds like
Strategy is actually like makes a lot of sense in.
That's what I mean. Like, does it just sound like gobbledygook to us, dumb foreigners?
It's weird as well because that was the project name, like when it was like
It
Project Triangle Strategy, and they just dropped the project part. I'm gonna guess this game for a 76.
Okay.
Moody.
80.
The strong spread.
Just see what happens.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to try and guess the OpenCritic average of Marvel Rivals.
Hell yeah. So for those unfamiliar, this is essentially the Overwatch clone, but with a Marvel skin on it, and the public and private betas have absolutely popped off early on this year. I think this game has all the juice behind it. I'm going to go for an 88 because I believe it never fails.
I've heard something about that. I am going to guess 79.
Okay.
I think it's going to have server issues and whatnot, and that's going to lower the score a bit.
I can see that happening.
81.
Did they bring out Overwatch Classic? Did I hallucinate that?
They do. No, they are doing that. So 6v6, yeah. It used to be.
Like how it was when I played it. Interesting.
It is interesting how all of these hero shooters and like Fortnite and the likes of things, they all at the same time are rolling back to their original.
We have to go back.
Yeah, exactly.
I imagine there's attrition involved, right? Like with even with Fortnite and like Overwatches and stuff, where it's like the numbers are going down because people like me stop playing eventually, and it's probably like maybe she'll start playing again if we bring back the game that she played. But it's like no, that's not how this works. I can't bring back the squad.
Not with that attitude, Ames. Not with that attitude.
And then there's the whole thing about like WoW Classic, where I was like, oh, that's a neat idea. Bring back WoW Classic. But now they're cycling, like, they're going down the development chain again. And it's like they're bringing out all of the expansions for it. And it's like, okay, so does that mean there's going to be another WoW Classic in like 15 years? Like, what the hell? What's the point? Sorry, tangent.
No, it's okay.
We're also going to guess the OpenCritic average. This doesn't come out next week. It comes out the week after, but it's on a Tuesday. So I thought we'd go early just in case the reviews jump early. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Terrible name for a game.
Like, it's just so boring. It's like Great Circle. Ooh, it's a circle. It's like that bit in Buffy the Vampire Slayer where it's a big rock. Can't wait to tell all my friends they don't have a rock this big.
It's like this game was named by Australians who were the world's masters at naming things, which are just like, right, it's we've got this reef here. It's a bit of a barrier. What we're going to call it, the Great Barrier Reef. Okay. We've got a sandy desert. What are we going to call it? Yeah, Great Sandy Desert. Nailed it.
It's a circle.
It's Great Circle, absolutely. I adore what machine games have done in the past. However,
so good.
This game doesn't have the juice for me. I think it's going to come across as tepid for what people are looking for and what Xbox needs this title to be. It needs this title to be an Uncharted type blockbuster that blows the doors off everything, but it's just not going to do that. And I think there's a number of reasons why that is.
Till it comes to PlayStation.
Yeah, there you go. There's a number of reasons why that is. I won't bore you with what those are right now, but I think this game is going to get a 77. And that's accounting for how all the Xbox faithful are gonna bump this game up because Xbox needs a win.
Do you think Xbox Era have already put out a podcast talking about how there's a conspiracy against Indiana Jones with the Great Circle?
Mhm.
All these reviewers are going to conspire to give it a 6 or something.
Yeah, and then they're gonna have a byline saying, "Why do people hate this game? I thought you like punching Nazis."
Yeah. Oh God, that's going to happen as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
81, I think.
Okay.
Go with an 81.
Yeah, I think this is going to be higher than we think, even though I think the game will come out and be a buggy mess.
All right, he likes bugs. He doesn't like snakes.
Well, he loves bugs. He loves finding bugs,
Yeah.
looking for bugs.
Loves
He especially loves it when other people find bugs.
I want to go conservative. Let's go 82.
Sorry, what?
Ugh.
You're going to do what?
Ugh.
What? Wash your mouth out with soap. I have speaking of machine games, I have an annoyance with Xbox, the Xbox store, in that like Play Anywhere is a failure as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's obviously like no Xbox console, no Xbox console. I've got PC. Like my owned games library on PC is tremendously small for starters. Like considering like Play Anywhere, buy it in one thing and you can play it in another thing. Like that's just bullshit, right? But so like one of the things I want to replay is Wolfenstein, like the Machine Games Wolfenstein series, and they do this bundle called the Alt History Wolfenstein Alt History bundle, which is the first game, the Old Blood, the second game, and Young Blood. I'm not so bothered about Young Blood, but the other three games.
No, not so good. Yeah.
That one wasn't so good, but so I was like, all right, cool. Well, I'll just buy that when it goes on sale because it goes on sale for like 10, 11 quid. And so I went on the Xbox store. There it is. It's on sale. $11.99, $10.99. I'm like, fucking great. Like, let's get that in my basket.
Sold. Yeah.
Hold on a minute. This is just the Xbox games. Why doesn't it say PC? All right, cool. Well, I'll just buy the PC version of the bundle. No. There is no PC version of the bundle.
Oh, right. I was either going to say it was either that or $49.99.
No, there is no PC version of that bundle. So, all right, fucking great. Right, fine. You know what? I already own the first game on GOG. I'll just buy the ones that I don't have because they're all on sale for £3.74.
They are $3.74 on Steam, yeah.
Weird.
Youngblood is $3.99.
Yeah. So, but I'm looking on the Xbox store still.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Like my beef is with the Xbox store. So, Wolfenstein the Old Blood, £3.74. Cool. Add to basket. Wolfenstein 2. £3.74. Cool. Add to basket. Wolfenstein Youngblood. Fuck it. I'm a completionist. I'll have the whole series. £3.74. If you buy the console version. If you buy the PC version, $14.99. What the fuck are you doing out here, Xbox? You just talked yourself out of another £3.74 because I don't give a shit if I own this game or not. And like the window for me buying this game is right now when I'm buying the other ones. Like, sort your fucking store out, mate.
At least Steam has got you when Xbox doesn't.
Exactly. Like, I can go and buy it for... Why isn't it... What the fuck? Like, it's on sale on the Xbox. It's not on sale on PC. It's like, the whole thing's supposed to be one ecosystem. This is an Xbox, and this is an Xbox. And you pull shit like this. Come on.
You know what it is? This is bullshit.
Yeah, it is bullshit. I know it seems like a minor complaint, and it is, like, in the grand scheme of things, but it's still bollocks.
No, it's indicative of the user experience, though, and it's as valid an experience as anyone as anybody else's with whether it's this ecosystem or anybody else's. And it's not that it's not International Dunk on Xbox weeks. It's that this happens to be the situation.
It's like what? Why? Just let me buy the bundle on PC. All of the games are available on PC. What the fuck? I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes when I use Xbox's store. Anyway, that was sorry. You just brought that to my mind when you mentioned machine games. I was like, oh, I've had a time.
Blame Indiana Jones.
Fucking Phil Spencer, you've got a lot to answer for. And why can't I buy games from your app? I can buy games from the PlayStation app. Why can't I buy games on the Xbox app? Why do I have to go to your dumbass fucking website on my dumbass web browser? You're supposed to be. You're supposed to be the good user experience where everything's a fucking Xbox, Phil. Everything isn't a fucking Xbox, Phil.
Don't worry, he's going to come out next week after the holiday over in the States, and then come out with another like pre-prepared statement as to how everything is actually not an Xbox.
Yeah, fucking goddamn Xbox. Moody, do the shiny thing.
The shinning.
The shinning.
Shiny thing. Okay. Didn't realize I'm doing Pokemon shiny hunting, but okay.
Yeah,
Here we go.
See what you get.
Okay. I hate shiny hunting. Hello, everybody. Today, be proud. You made it. Another day is behind you. Another week has passed. You want to know what else? You are absolutely doing the best. You're truly good enough. We all believe in you. It's one step at a time, one day at a time, one dream at a time. Now stand up, jump up, and high five that sky because you made it and you are enough. Live long and prosper.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.